As much as it depends on you, keep yourself. Is it so wrong to do it right in the confines of marriage? What sort of confusion are you bringing this child into? Now, there are people that intentionally sit and plan. You're bringing this child into a confusion. That separation is unhealthy for any child. Hello guys, so apologies for looking like this. I'm not feeling too well, but I felt like I needed to say this and I needed to say it now. So please, this is for young people like myself, my colleagues. Please, as much as it depends on you, please keep yourselves till marriage. Flee sexual sin, because it is sin outside the confines of marriage. Now, I'm not even talking about the whole case of abortion. Yeah, I'm not talking about sexual ties. I want to stress on reproducing or bringing a child into the world when you're not ready for it. I mean, if you feel like you are at the point, or you feel like, okay, you want to do this, is it so wrong to do it right in the confines of marriage? You want to have that stability, you want to have that. There's a reason that God made Adam and Eve. God established family, like God established them in marriage before the issue of multiplying and making more of themselves. Now, I'm saying this, sadly, the thing is that even if people these days, marriages keep on failing for, I don't know, issues I don't even want to talk about, from people not ready, going into marriage, ending up with wrong marriages, and so many. I don't even want to go into that. But I am more interested in the parts that if you're not ready, please do not bring a child into this world. There's nothing to celebrate having a child out of wedlock. I see a lot of people these days, they are doing what they call it pregnancy reveal. A lot of young ladies doing that, and it's so, I don't know what to define it. It's so horrifying because it seems like it's now the thing that is happening. But can I tell you, it doesn't get easier. Never does. I'm not even talking about the parent of the child. I'm not talking about, I don't even want to stress about the mother or the father. But I am more concerned about the child right now. This child that you're bringing into the world. What sort of confusion are you bringing this child into? Now, I know that there are people that end up in this situation because of either cases of rape, or they just didn't know better, or they fell into temptation, or whatever it is, whatever the case might be. Yes, I know there are people like that. And then I know that there are people that intentionally sit and plan. It's something that everyone is doing. Why don't I just do it to myself? It is not enough reason, really. Because it doesn't get easier. You're bringing this child into a confusion. You're bringing this child into lots of questions. Because this child is going to eventually start going to school. This child is going to eventually find out if you happen to end up not marrying the child's father or the child's mother. That separation is unhealthy for any child. And I know what I am talking about. Because if it doesn't take the special grace of God, this child might grow up hating you without even letting you know. This child might grow up with severe cases of anxieties, of depression, because of constant questions that he finds or she finds herself asking because of the situation that she has found herself in. Because you see that, let me take you to mommy, you come back. Let me take you to dad. You're going to dad for this. I don't know. The confusion in that kind of life. I know that I might not be really eloquent with what I'm saying this evening because I'm a bit emotional when it comes to this topic. I understand it firsthand, right? Reason is not even the issue right now. Reason is never even the issue. You would have to raise a child who would have to insist on being strong for himself. There's already too much chaos in this world, and imagine bringing a child into this chaos. This child would have to go to school and see every other child come with father and mother, and here he or she is trying to figure out why is dad and mom, why are they not together? Okay, if they weren't ready to be together, then why did they even bother having me? An experiment? Was I a mistake? Was I a coincidence? And you know, the thing is that before you're able to actually gain victory and grow out of those questions, it takes a while, a really long time. It takes so much. So I might not really be able to pass across this message the way I really want to. But there's no glory in bringing an innocent person into the world when you're not ready to do it right, to do it correctly. God doesn't make mistakes. That's one thing that I know. This one has a child with this one. This one has a child with this one. And I'm like, really? Do you think that the child comes into the world without emotions? Do you think that the child just jumps from, I don't even know what you think in your head, but how can you just keep throwing children here and there, human beings, and we end up with so many breaking stories that family is not even established these days. Like, I can hardly ever see a strong, I don't even know, but this is just what I felt like sharing this evening. I know that a lot of people will not agree with this. Well, some might think I'm crazy, but if you actually really want to really know why maybe I'm sharing this, it's dear to my heart. Please, it pertains everything in life. If you're not ready for it, and you do not have to. You do not have to. If you're not ready for the relationship, you do not have to go into it. If you're not ready for the marriage, you do not have to go into it. What business do you have bringing a child into the world when you are not ready to bring him in correctly? As much as it depends on you, please, let's not do this. Let's not sit down and plan and scheme intentionally. When you sit down and when you look and when you examine, you see that the choices you make today says a lot about who you would be tomorrow and who you will be perceived as tomorrow. Well, will your child, or your son or your daughter end up hating you? Will he end up having to ask himself constant questions? Questioning his what? Questioning his person, questioning his, you know what? It's as much as it depends on you, right? Keep yourself. There's nothing. Keep yourself. I hear people saying, if I don't get a husband, I'll just have a child. I beg. It's wicked. Are you thinking about yourself, or you're thinking, it's selfish? Are you thinking about that child? Really? Are you really thinking about that child, or you just want to procreate? Because that's what it seems like. So what then happens? What then happens? What next? I can raise the child, single mom. It doesn't get easy. Do you want to ask single moms if it gets easy? Do you want to ask single dads if it gets easy? Can I tell you the story of a girl who was a case or a result of something like this? and who eventually, when her father came into her life, had to sit herself down and forgive for an act she never knew happened, had to forgive an offense that had happened even before she was born, before she was given birth to. She had to sit down and navigate through forgiving over and over again. Do you really want to do that to a child? Because let's not even just talk about society. Let's not even go there. What society would. I'm done. Literally, I'm done.